What's up, everybody? How is everyone doing today? Look at that. I made it on time to a live stream. I know, it's shocking, right? So today, we're going to actually be putting two things. I lied. We're going to be putting two things on here because when we switch out the board, so I got a brand new EZBoard here. We're going to open this out of its crispy little static bag there. And we're going to be putting this in our SV06 Plus. So this is the first part of a couple upgrades I'm going to do to this. And the EZBoard is going to go on here, and the EZ-Nails are going to go on here today. And now I will be doing some firmware on stream here. Now, since we already have firmware for the SV06 and they're very similar machines, I do have some prepped here, but I unlike some of these other companies that, you know, and people that put out firmware who just kind of blind guess it, we actually test firmware on the actual printer. So I'm going to be testing and refining the firmware for the SV06 Plus with our board in it. And then dialing it in on my machine here, and then we will push a firmware update out. So we are going to be doing firmware updates. I have a couple other updates going to be pushed out along with this update for the EZBoard V2. So all you guys that have our firmware, and we do still have 3 days left. If you guys want to get a free three-month subscription to our Unified 2 firmware, just go to our website and click the news post, or click news at the top, and there's the announcement URL in there. I'm just going to grab it for you. I know y'all are lazy, okay? You just want me to give you it. Let's see here. We are having our filament sale still. The filament fiesta is going on. And also, if you guys want to take advantage of some stuff that we're closing out, like I said, we are narrowing our product scope so we can get rid of the stuff that just isn't that popular, so we can have less distractions. So if you guys want good deals on some different types of filament, or not filaments. Well, actually, yeah, filaments, because coax, we're clearing those out. But filaments and parts and stuff, look out for the email. We'll be sending that out later tonight. Also, we now carry Polymaker. And that's on our sites. We have 8 different colors. We have 2 ABSs and 6 PLAs. We have your basic blacks and whites. And we also have 2 different colors. We got their steel gray, their aqua blue, their starlight, or is it starlight? Hang on. Yeah, starlight Neptune, and then starlight Mercury. So this one, Krista wanted, because she wants to do some videos and photos for our marketing. So I'm going to go ahead. That's funny. I was about to open this. Do not open from this side. I'm assuming it's resealable. It is a resealable bag. All right, let's see how this looks. Why is my light is like having a stroke right now? It's like flickering and getting brighter. What is going on? Is my light finally... I feel like I need to take this apart and clean it. Hang on. Like the potentiometer that controls the light brightness is wigging out. So might have to take that apart and clean it. But anyways, here we go. Ho, 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 ho. That is a cool color. So I'm looking at the preview on my camera. It looks cooler in person, but you can see they call it like a color change effect. It goes from like a blue to like almost a green. It looks cool on the video preview, but this is one of those filaments that is going to look cooler in person than it does on photos or even video showing you this. So if you guys want to check this out, we have this in stock along with their other ones. So we got a couple rolls of their fancy Neptune stuff. Also, if you just want a good PLA, $22.99 for a roll of solid PLA. If you're looking for stuff that's reliable, I can highly recommend them. That's why we're carrying them now. Can't beat 23 bucks for a consistent, good quality roll of filament. And as somebody that runs a print farm, and we've been using Polymaker in our print farm for a couple months now, I can vouch for their quality, which is also why we're carrying them. So, give them a shot. All right, enough with the salesy stuff. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting our EZBoard V2 in here. And as we saw on the 6, and I'm going to do a test print. I got to find the, I'm going to see if this is the SD card. I'm going to run the same G-code on the EZBoard V2 that we did on the stock board to make this little guy here. So this is not a bad print. And yep, this SD card has this G-code on it. But we're going to see some cleaner print results with this. So this has input shaping on the stock board with our layer fan upgrade kit on it. So we're going to do an input shaping test after we change the board, because the board is going to be, it's going to have a different frequency response slightly than the other one. So we're going to give it a fair shake. So we're going to put our board in there. We're going to do an input shaping test. And then this is assuming all the firmware works. I'm assuming how much do you guys want to bet if firmware will work or not? If I got it like all the way there or not. Is my bot not working? I just realized I don't have chat up here. I went to go look for chat and it's not here. Hang on, I forgot to turn the bot on. Hang on. It's loading. I don't know. Maybe I'll get lucky and get the firmware right on the first try. So I do have the reference for the stock firmware and I have the reference for the SV06, and I know my printers well enough. We'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe the gods will be, you know, gracious to me and give me an easy stream today. I hope. I hope. All right. So the chat bot is loading up right now. Tripod says, I will not bet my only legs, sorry. We're not going to use a polymaker for the input shaping test, only because I want to have the same exact filament, so it's a direct comparison. Give me a sec. The bot is starting up, and it's like hanging things. Hang on one second. Streamlabs chat bot. Can you get your shit together? Can you guys see me okay? Oh, wait. There we go. It finally connected. I don't know why it was taking so long to connect. All right. So, let's get on with the stream. I'm going to pop my chat up so I can keep an eye on you hooligans here. And I got my video preview up here. All right. Video is poor. Reload. I had to reconnect the stream. So anyways, let's see here. Is it going to switch over? Is my camera on? It is on. All right. So things I already have done to this SV06. I have our 5015 fan duct on here. And I have the Meanwell power supply. So they're stock power supply. A lot of people are having issues with them. We have a Meanwell replacement kit, and the fun fact is this is a 350 watt power supply, and this is more than enough to run this printer, even though the stock one was 500 watts. Oh, no, wrong one. I meant to turn my head camera on here. So I got the 5015 fan upgrade on here. I got the power supply upgrade on here. So we're going to be replacing the control board, which is in this little box here. And this one is really hard to video working in because of like the position it's in. I'm going to do my best. I have the mounting blocks for the Easy Neo for the SV06. I'm going to hope it works with the Plus. If not, I'm honestly just going to kind of throw them up there with some zip ties, and then I'll make new mounting blocks for them. But looking at the design of it, it looks like it should match up with the SV06. So let's get into it. So we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to put my autofocus back on. It was off from the last one. Just remove it. Isn't it too... Yeah, but then like the cables and stuff. I mean, let's see. This isn't really any easy. I mean, you know what? Hang on. Let me disconnect this. All right, this might actually be better. Good call, Tor. All right. Boop. So to get in this, we need to take the screw out here. And here we go. We are in like Flynn. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to disconnect the fan here. Oh, do we have hot snot on here? We have hot snot on here. Yes, we do. So we want to disconnect all this stuff in here because we want to put it onto the new one. So I'm going to go ahead and get the hot snot off. You guys see all that hot snot in there? And I'm going to actually use the tweezers from our printer maintenance kit here to see if I can get in there and get the hot snot off. There we go. So there's our K fan. This is our layer fan. This is our controller fan here. which is the one in the control box. Come on, hot snot. There we go. All right, let's see if the motor cables will come off easily. We disconnect the LCD. Oh, and just I want to mention, you need the LCD kit to use our board with this printer. The stock LCD is not compatible. So, forgot to mention that. All right. I might switch over to some flatheads here. Hang on. I could get my heat gun and soften it up with that, but come on. There we go. Well, apparently my logo light behind me decided to just reboot itself. I think that ESP is having some hard times. I updated the firmware, and it's just like, it's crashing. So, all right. Got our E-motor plug here. All right. Now, I am going to move this out of the way here. So I'm going to cut this little zip tie here. We'll put a new one in. Just because when I did this on the original SV06, it was a lot easier to work with. So we can kind of get this cable out of the way. See how much more room you have to work. Now, this is for the stock ABL sensor, and we do have the pinout for this. It's the same on the SV06 as it is on the Plus. So we will be using some jumper wires to test the stock ABL sensor and wire that up. And eventually I will put an EZBoard on here. That will be the next video. But today, we're going to just do the board swap and hopefully the Easy Neos. Now, I do see a thing here where I'm going to need to do some documentation because these are all black wires. Now, I'm able to determine which ones are voltage, signal, and ground, and this will plug into the EZBoard. This is the filament sensor. But I'm going to have to do a take a picture of this and document that. So that'll go into our help center. We got our bed thermistor here. More hot snot. And then this is our hot end thermistor. There we go. All right, and now I need to get a bigger flathead bit. And we're going to disconnect all the stuff. Now, they luckily did color code these for the red and the black. So these are like, this is your fan, or not fan, your hot end output here. So we're going to go ahead and unscrew these. Take those out. Here's our bed wires. And thank you, Solvol, for putting crimp ferrules on here. They're a company after my own heart. All right, and here's the fan wires. Again, polarity matters. So you got red and black. And I think the heat shrink even labels that. All right. Yep, fan negative and fan positive. Okay. Now, I'm assuming on this one, just like we had to do on the other one, we're probably going to have to take our little deburring tool. You can use a knife or whatever. But basically, we need to make the little hole for this port a little bit wider because they do have a micro USB, and our board uses the mini USB. And some people will be like, well, mini USB is so old. The reason why we keep using mini USB on the boards is it's actually a lot more durable than the micro USB. And if you guys notice, our branding on the EZBoard page now, it's called the V2 Plus. It's the same board. The difference is, and why we put the Plus moniker on there, is because we're including a mini USB cable and an SD card, a 4 gig SD card, our own SD cards. So that way you have the cable you need. So change the USB-C, that will not fit in a lot of these housings. That's the other problem too. We got to make sure it fits in all the Ender series and all these other ones. You know, maybe on when we get around to doing a new board version, which is not going to be for a while, as I said on the other stream yesterday, maybe we'll do that. But again, I'm more about durability over everything else. So, all right, so we got this whole wire bundle. I can move that out of the way, and now we can get the new board in. And like I said, I'm going to double check And I think because we had to do this on the regular 06, I had to widen this little hole here, right here, the USB port hole. We're going to see, but I'm pretty sure, did they make it bigger on this one? I don't know. Let's see. We're going to see how this fits in. No, it's so that, see, the SD slot lines up. So basically we just need to take a little off the port here. We are not doing the additional driver kit for the EZBoard because not enough people are willing to commit to do it. So that idea is dead in the water. I'm trying to find my deburring tool. Did somebody steal my deburring tool? What the hell? Let me go check the garage. Maybe I wandered off with it when I was working in the garage because I didn't have one for the garage. And I don't have my knife on me. All right, I'll be right back. Gotta grab my deburring tool. You guys stay. Did one of your dogs take it? Yeah, I can't find it. So, I just remembered. I put files in my thing here, so I'm just going to basically file this up about the width of the file here. So, I'm going to mute my mic while I do this so I can really go at it, okay? I didn't mute my mic, did I? I hit the wrong button. But look at that. Let's see, that should be enough. It's just a little bit you got to take off. Come on, get in there. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. See? Just a little bit. And then everything fits. All right, so now we're going to bolt the board back in. I don't know where my deburring tool went. I'm going to have to steal another one. Focus, you fuck. I'm curious, how many of you guys here watch AVE? Guys and like one girl. I know my demographic. There's like one. We get like we're at like 0.6 viewership for females at this point. We used to be 0%, but there's probably like 1 or 2 women that actually watch the channel. But in general, hey, I'm from the Midwest, so when you say you guys, it's a gender neutral term, right? How many of you guys are from the Midwest? See, there you go. I just did that. That was not intentional. How many of you guys are from the Midwest? All right, I'm just putting the screws in. You can see here our board bolts right up into the stock screws. So I would say the hardest part about this upgrade is just modifying that little opening. And if it, like you see, I just had a little tiny file. The deburring tool works really well as well, which is what I used on the last stream because that's what I had handy. But I just remembered when I was going through my toolbox, like, oh yeah, I just took all that because I have a big file set in my garage, and then I had a bunch of these little ones, and I was like, I'm gonna put these in my what's it called? I'm gonna put these in my office because these would be good for like cleaning up parts and just doing little jobs. And hey, look at it, came in handy. Now, so see this DET line? This is the filament line. So I'm gonna take a picture really quick here. And the way you determine what the voltage signal and ground is so you see this plug only goes in one way. So you got the pins exposed here on the other, and you got the locking tab. So if we look on here, it goes into the stock board like this, okay? And if I flip the board over, it actually says VGS. So on mine, and yours might be different, on mine, the voltage one is the one with the tag on it. And then the G, is the ground, is the center, and the signal is the out one. Now, if we look here on our board, and I'll zoom in so you can see, we also have it labeled. So we got V would be 5 volt, ground be middle. So basically when I put this on here, and if you're going to follow this video, you can just plug it in how I am. So the orientation to put it onto our board is with the little locking forks here facing the other headers. So just like this. And actually, I'll just take a picture of that really quick, and we'll put in our documentation for the SV06 Plus. Because the SV06 does not have a filament sensor stock. You have to put our kit on there. But I'm going to take a little picture of that really quick so we can add it to our documentation here. So there we go. I get the wires out of the way. Get a shot from that angle. And then I'm going to get an overhead shot from here showing the voltage signal and ground. Actually, the plug is covering up. There we go. All right. I can get in there at an angle. All right. Bam. All right. I got pictures for documentation. All right. We're going to zoom out, and we're going to get everything else hooked up. Here, I'll give you guys a nice tighter view there. All right. So now we just hook everything back up. So X goes to X, and our ports are pretty much in the same location. If you notice, the headers are flipped on ours versus the stock one. The little locking tabs are towards that. Ours are flipped. There's plenty of slack in here to do this. For the Z, it doesn't matter which one you use. They're connected in parallel. And this printer, even though it has dual Z motors, you can see they go to the same plug. So it doesn't matter which one you plug it into. Also, if there's hot snot left on your plug, clean it off. All right. Go ahead and plug that in. There we go. So we got our X, Y, and Z connected. I need to put the main power in, and on ours, it's the same orientation. So that's positive, that's negative. It's also labeled on the silk screen. You can't see it in this shot, but we also have it labeled in our documentation as well. So, but we already have crimp ferrules on here, so that's good. It's not going to burn our terminals up like certain companies like Creality and all these other careless companies that just pin their damn wires. So I'm honestly really thinking about having us sell Solval printers, because like we're like I said, we're going through and narrowing our product focus so we can be more like streamlined here and like focusing on the stuff that we do best. And I feel like the Solval printers, would like to sell them, and I have a contact with them, so I could do it. I don't know if people would want to buy it from us or whatnot. Maybe, who knows? Like basically sell it with a bundle with all the upgrade parts. All right, so the bed goes to the B temp, which is this guy here. We're basically just plugging everything back in. The other thing you will need to do if you're using the factory ABL sensor is you will have to get some jumper wires, the little DuPont jumper wires, which we do carry on our website. They're literally like $2 for the jumper wires. The other thing too is you can also, well, I'm just going to do the jumpers like I did. It's just easier. There is a way to do it without the jumpers, but it involves hacking up the plug, and that's way too complicated. We already have it documented, so I'm going to do it the way we have it documented. Because this is only going to be temporary, I'm just going to use the stock sensor on here to test, and then we're going to put our ABL on here because I've had too many people tell me that they've had issues with the stock one going out after a couple months, and I just don't want to deal with it going out. I want to set this printer up and run it. You'll probably be surprised to find that I actually don't like constantly tinker with my machines. Like I tinker with ones that we're working on, but I want a reliable printer. So that's why I put all our stuff in here. That's our goal when we're making our products, is making printers that, you know, making your printers reliable. All right, reconnect the LCD over here. And while this plug looks like it will fit into here, it will. This is a serial header. This is not an ABL header. So read the directions for our products. We have very good documentation. Clipper is reliable too, man. You know, I know you're joking because I've heard your stories of Clipper. I mean, Clipper's fine as long as you don't update it. Like, that's where a lot of people, I've heard so many people like, man, I updated my Clipper install and now it's not working and I got to redo it. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right. Okay. So we're going to connect. So this is our fan here. So we got our fan. These are going to go to the fan port. Ours are the same. And, you know, it's getting a little more crowded in here, and that's fine. It's fine. I'll just move these out of the way. And I'll show you guys all the connections once I'm done here making them. All right, come on. Get in there. Make sure positive is the positive, negative is the negative. Luckily, Sovol did a great job at terminating all these wires. And you know what? I'm going to use my little tweezers here to get these into the jacks. Look at that. As long as I don't pull the damn things out. And I am using our TH3D screwdriver set, which we have. It is only $10 for an awesome screwdriver set. I have had this same set for 3 years, and I have yet to break a bit. And I have also yet to lose a bit, which is even more impressive than the bit's not breaking. All right, K-fan goes to fan 1, which is right here. So that's your layer fan. Just like on the stock board. Your control board fan goes to fan 2, which is the header right above it. And the Sovol polarity does match our board, so you don't need to repin any cables with it. What else do we have left? So this is the 5-pin is our ABL sensor. TH, this is our hot end thermistor, which goes to, you can't really see it, it's the port right next to the bed one, to the right there. So I'm going to plug that in. And then we have our E motor here. So the 4-pin with E goes to our E motor header. And then we have our heater cartridge. So this goes into the hot end terminal, which is right here. And instead of fiddling this, I'm just going to use my tweezers because that worked really well. Yeah, that's the other thing too. So this board will give you better print quality than the stock board. It also does not have a knockoff processor. Our processor is a genuine STM32 one, which means you can run all sorts of fun firmware updates. You can still update the firmware on the stock board. We have firmware for it, but you cannot run NeoPixel lighting on the stock board. And again, this board gives you cleaner prints, and I'm going to show you guys so you don't have to take my word for it. Now, the funny thing is here, I didn't even notice this when I disconnected it. They still actually have the filament sensor port for the stock. So on the printhead, there's actually a 3-pin on the right side of the printhead because I guess they planned on putting a filament sensor there, but it's not actually used. So I'm going to do what I did on my SV06 because this is never going to get used. I'm just going to snip this off here to get it out of here. So the filament sensor one we want to use is this separate one that we hooked up earlier. All right, now the last thing I need to do to get everything working is I need to put the jumper wires for the ABL, and I'm going to pull up our website here because we have this document. It's the same one that's on the SV06. So let me pull up our support center here, and I will go ahead and pull up the wiring here. So if I switch over my computer here, and I go to here, EZBoard V2, stock Sovol SV06 wiring. So here's a plug. We're going to need to take a little DuPont jumper and put it into these 3 pins here. So the ground 5-volt signal, and then we're going to put this into the servo header here. So now, do you guys want to see how to do this method, or do you want me to show you how to modify this plug? What do you guys want to see? Because I can actually pop these pins out and modify this plug so it'll plug right into the servo header. Do you guys want to see that, or do you want to see me do the jumper wire? Because if you're a little more, it'll be cleaner because you won't have this loop of wire in here. And it's basically free. Do you guys want to see me modify the plug? Bueller, modify the plug. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is we're going to get rid of these two wires here because we're not going to need them. We're going to get rid of these two wires. I'm going to snip this plug down to 3 pins, and then we're going to move these into the order. So if we look on here, our servo header is 5-volt ground and signal. So I'm going to have to make sure that this plug, so we're going to move these two. So we're going to move this wire here over to this spot. This one will go here, and then this one will come over to the 3rd position. Does that make sense? So we'll have ground 5-volt signal. I think that's what I have on here. Or sorry, 5-volt ground signal. Does that match our pin out here? Yeah, 5-volt ground signal. So I'm going to leave this up for reference because even I get confused sometimes. So we're going to modify this. So the 2 center wires here, we are not going to use. And I'm going to adjust my focus here so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to take these 2 wires and we're going to snip them because we don't need them. Just going to kind of pull them back in the harness, and we're just going to cut them off. And then I'm just going to take my little end of my tweezers here and just push down on the tab right here. These are sometimes easy to get out, sometimes they're not. All right, and then I'm going to pop these other 2 out. So now they're all black, so don't forget which one is which. So I'll pop this one out of the header here. And the one thing you want to check, and I'll see if I can zoom in on this, is when you pop these out, there's this little tab here. Do you see that little like finger sticking up? If the pins fall out after you repin, take something and put it underneath here and lift this little tab up a little bit. Don't go crazy, just lift it up a little bit because that's what holds it into the plug. So I pop those 2 out so we have empty spaces here. I'm going to go ahead and this is our signal one. So I'm going to pop this in right here. Okay, and just give it a gentle tug. It's not coming out. And then we need to flip these 2. So I'm going to pop this one out. And I'm going to check that the locking tab is okay. So I'm going to pull this up a little bit. And then I'm going to pop this other one out. And make sure you don't mix them up, okay? Because things are not going to work. All right, so this is the one that's got to go to the 1st pin position. And make sure that locking tab is up. So this one's going to go into the 1st pin position. And this one's going to go into the 2nd pin position. So just like that, we have the plug rewired. Now, the only problem is, we're going to double check that. Those are in there. We have a 3-pin plug on our board, right? So the servo header, which is right here, is a 3-pin. This is not going to fit in here. But with our friends, the snips, we can fix that. So what you're going to do is just take your snips and put it right into this channel here. And snip it off. Now you will have these little ridges here, so we're going to cut this flush. And just like that, I can plug it right into the header. Look at that. How is that for clean? Let me zoom out here. So there we go. So now the stock ABL sensor is wired directly. There's no adapters. So that's how you would do it. So you just get rid of the extra pins here, modify the plug, and there we go. No jumpers needed. Now, if you don't want to modify your plug, I get it. You can just use the little jumpers if you got them laying around, or this is the free method of just modifying the plug and repinning it. All right. So I'm done inside here now. Now the board is installed. I just realized here that I must have like cut a zip tie here because this is just kind of flapping about in the breeze. So I'm going to put a zip tie here to hold these wires in, and then we're going to close this up. All right. So that's done. The board's installed. Now we got to load the firmware though. Now, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I do have like the firmware kind of staged on my computer here. I don't know if it's just going to be, hey, it's just going to work, and that'll be it, or if I'm going to have to do some changes. So I'm just making sure the wires are all out of the way when I close this. Just kind of pushing everything down here. So I do like this housing, but it is kind of tight in here sometimes. So just make sure you're not pinching any wires when you're closing it up. If you aren't, it should go together pretty easily. So I'm going to put the screw back in here. Just making sure I put the extruder cable back on the right direction. Because if you don't, it'll put like a twist in it. All right, we're going to put this in. Okay, we're going to go back to autofocus on the camera here. That's not what I wanted to do. That's the wrong menu. Hang on. Oh, we got a spam call. Should I answer it? Well, let's see. Suspected spam. Hello? Oh, they hung up. That's disappointing. I love messing with them. If you guys get spam callers, waste their time, because the more time you guys spend with them on the phone, the less time those pieces of shit have to actually take advantage of other people who might fall for their shenanigans. All right. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this all back in. Now, if memory serves correct, I should just be able to turn this on, and it will have the test firmware. Now, it's not ready to use. We got to update the firmware, which will be super easy for you guys because I'm going to make sure it all works. So this is me testing the firmware build for the first time once we flash this. So I'm just going to make sure everything powers up. So I'm going to put this in, turn it on. I'm going to make sure everything powers up. So we got the LCD screen. We should see our I can't remember if I put our logo, but we should see Marlin Bug Fix on here. There we go. And it should say test firmware on it. So we do test all of our boards. We power them up, make sure they all work correctly. So you get boards that work, okay? Now, this printer will not work until we update the firmware. So I'm going to go over to my PC, and this printer, once I'm done with this stream, shortly after, unless the firmware is like ready to go, it's a 50-50 shot right now if the firmware is ready to go or not. We're going to find out right now. You guys are watching me do development work. So I'm going to set this SD card over here. This is the one with the Cali Dragon G-code. And we're going to reprint that as a test to show you guys the quality difference between our board versus the stock board. Now, don't get me wrong, the stock board's not bad, but it's not as good as ours. So, all right, I got to open up our firmware here. I was doing some testing here with some thermistor stuff. So let me switch over to my screen here. So I got our firmware here, and I think this should be my beta one. Yep, SV06 Plus. Did I have anything else? There shouldn't be anything else enabled right now. I forgot to hook the EZBoard up. We can go back and do that. We'll see if those blocks fit. I'm hoping they fit, so I'd have to do another one. Now, this printer typically can run. We'll see. The stock probe typically can run super fast probing. I'm going to look and see if the stock probe is on. It is. And it is detecting my screwdriver, so I got the wiring correct. All right. I'm just making sure, because I was doing some testing here for another thing. I'm just making sure that it is it is working. So I'm going to go ahead and do a compile here. Now, once we have official support for this, you will be able to go to our website. You'll be able to go to this website, and setting the firmware up will be as easy as going here, telling it you have an SV06 Plus. So for an example, right now we already have the SV06 loaded. You can do this, hit next, and you can just leave it here. So we have the stock ABL here. And then you can actually just skip all the way to the end, and it'll build the config, and this will compile it for you. So we're one of the only companies that has this for our board, and this is free for all EZBoard users. We also do not charge at all for our own board firmware, as a thank you for getting our firmware, or getting our board. So yeah, you can see here it's compiling. You see other people are using it. Now, this guy probably screwed something up in his config, but we do provide like the logs, so you can see what you screwed up. But here you can see compiling, and in just a couple of seconds here, this page is going to refresh, and then boom, it built the firmware. So this server that this is on is a very powerful Threadripper based system. So it does the compiles quick. You can see here, it took my computer here. This is an i9 9900K. Took it about a minute to do the compile. So not terrible. But let's go ahead and see. I'm going to double check, and we're going to see what I got right in the firmware and what I didn't. So I'm going to drag my firmware bin over here onto my SD card, and we're going to flash the printer. So flashing the printer is as simple as just turning it off. So go ahead and turn it off. Let the LCD power down. I'm going to pop my SD card with the firmware in it into the board. And we're going to turn it on. So, and then it'll update the firmware. Now, since I'm testing the firmware for the first time on the actual machine, I am going to go ahead and make sure my axes are moving the correct direction, left, right, forward, back, and then up and down. If that works, I'm going to try to home it. So you can see here, it's flashing the firmware. It's taking a sec longer than we did before because it's got to write the firmware to the board. And there we go. Now we have our logo, and it's coming online. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to see if everything works. Like I said, I used the SV06 as a base, modified the bed size and a couple other things. So let's see. If I move X right, it is going right. So that's going the right direction. And let's see Y. If I move Y 10 and 20, okay, so the bed's going the right direction. So that's good. I got those settings correct on the first go around. And let's see. Did I get Z right? Z is going up. Okay. Well, I'm just going to full send right now. Let's see. Woo! Sensorless homing. Do you hear that? God, sensorless homing is a pain sometimes. So I'm probably going to have to modify the sensorless homing parameters for the Plus. So the sensor worked. I'm going to see what I can do to get sensorless homing. So if you guys are running a board, not just our board, with the sensorless homing, and it does that, you need to adjust the sensorless homing settings. And you can do that right from the LCD here. So I'm going to go here and we're going to tune it. So I need to make it more sensitive. So basically it vibrated because it wasn't detecting the bed. So I'm going to go in here, go to advanced settings, and I'm going to go under TMC drivers and sensorless homing. So right now I have the Y set at 75. I'm going to bump this up to 90 just like the X. And we're going to see if it homes quietly. So it should only make a tiny bit of noise. And I will code this all in the firmware so you guys don't have to deal with it. So I'm going to go motion, I'm going to go auto home, and we're going to see if it makes the grindy sounds again. Nope. And now it's quiet. So simple as that. So I'm going to go and modify the source code. So that way when you guys go to do it, it doesn't make a horrible sound. So give me 1 second here. I'll show you guys what I'm doing here. So in our config file here, we have, I'm trying to remember how I did this. We got I need SV06. So I'm going to jump to the SV06 section. I'm lazy, so I'm going to copy it or highlight it, do a Control F, and we're going to jump down to the SV06 section here. And I have the sensorless homing settings in this config section here. So you can see here, it is 75. So I'm going to go ahead and put a thing here. That's going to tell it. So the SV06 works fine with 75. It is a smaller bed, but I want this to set it to 90 for the Plus. So I'm going to do here an else. So basically, if the SV06 Plus is enabled, we're going to set that to 90. And again, these settings will get you pretty close to 100% working. But if you do get the vibration like I did, where it's like, just adjust your sensor home and calibration. So now you can see here, it's going to light this up. And now we're going to set 90 for the plus on this board instead of 75, which is what the regular SV06 uses. And I'm just going to do one more home to make sure that that setting's good and it wasn't just a fluke. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, it looks like the firmware is in good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, even though it's not really fair to my board to not do an input shaping test, I'm going to pull the settings off of this one and put them into here because it should be similar. You really should, if you change your board, run a new input shaping test, but I don't think you guys want to stick around for like an hour while I do that. So I'm going to put the settings from this one into that printer. And you're probably wondering how I'm going to do that since the board's out of the printer. Well, I have a little power adapter and a screen here, so I can pull it up and see what it is on the LCD. All right. So it'll be close. I am going to run an input shaping test on this after we're going, but I don't want to keep you guys here for 30 minutes while it runs the test. So we're just gonna use the one that's in here because it'll get us close, but I want it to be fair to have the same kind of thing. So let's see what settings I had in the stock board here. Nice. All right, so I'm gonna go here. Configuration, advanced settings, input shaping, and I have 36.7 on the X and 45 on the Y. So I'm going to put that into my new board here. $36.7. And what was it, 45 on the Y, I think it was. $45 on the Y. All right. Oakley dokley. We're going to go ahead and run a test print. Now, here's one thing I noticed, and I'm curious to know, those of you who have SV06 or SV06 pluses, the auto Z line where it rams up to the top, I found it is not accurate. The gantry does not get correctly aligned. So I find myself going back to checking them with these. Also, we sell stickers that go on the uprights here, so you can look at it and see. Actually, I think I was debating on closing those out and like discontinuing those, but they are such a useful thing. Hey, Krista, if you're watching, can you go out to the shop and grab me 2 sets of the Easy Level stickers? Because I'm going to put one on your SV06, and I'm going to put one on this one too. But for now, just to get the print going, I'm going to move these up by hand. And these little leveling blocks, I'm going to ram them up against the bottom because you want to make sure that the bottom of this is the same distance on either side, okay? All right. Now, underneath this, there are little screws that hold the rods, so make sure you're not setting them on the screws. So I usually put them like this on the SV06, and these are exactly the same height. I measured these. These are printed parts, and these are in our unified STL pack. So if you got our firmware, you also got access to the STL pack. So it's just a block. These are actually made for the Ender 3 and the CR10s where it slots in the extrusion, but they're just blocks. You could make your own, or you could use mine where you want. So now I know that these are the same distance. And now whether you're using the stock sensor, a BL Touch, an Easy ABL, your gantry has to be the same distance from here to your printer's frame on both sides. If you have one side higher than the other, your bed mesh gets completely obliterated and screwed up. So if you're having weird issues where like one side's higher than the other, it's this. So I'm going to go ahead, and now that it's there, I'm not going to touch it. I want to go to my screen. I'm going to move Z, move 10, and now I'm moving it up. So now the motors are locked, and I know my gantry's low. So I'm going to take these out here. And we're going to go ahead and pop the SD card in with the Cali Cat, or the Cali Dragon, and we're going to let that print. So same exact G-code. I am running input shaping, but it's the tune from the old board, which, like I said, it should get us close enough, but I want to show you guys the print quality difference side by side. Because I did this with the SV06, and you guys, you guys saw the difference, but most people here might not have seen that. So, and I'm going to highlight here the kind of quality issues. So this is a good print, but you can see here, see that's kind of like ripply here. Like, do you see on there? It's not smooth. It's like kind of a ripply surface. The model does not have that. So I'm going to show these side by side. Same filament, same G-code. The only difference is the control board. And I'm going to show you guys that our board does print better. So, all right, it's preheating. We're going to let this preheat here. It's almost there. We're at 60 on the bed, or 33 on the bed, 140 on the hot end. I'm going to plug the Easy Level stickers, and I feel like the only reason they haven't been a big seller is because not many people know about them, and that's my fault because I haven't been talking about them. So these are made in the U.S. We have a company here in Indiana that makes them for us, and this is what they are. They're these little stickers that go on your uprights here. So you can look and eyeball, they have marks here. So every big mark here is 10 millimeters. This half one is 5, and each of these is 1. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically you can look on either side without having to bust blocks out, without having to bust rulers out. You can just look at it and know if your gantry is not level or not. It's such a stupid, simple product. They're $5 right now. I don't know if we should discontinue these or not. They're just stickers, but they're really useful stickers. So if you guys want them, check them out. Tor posted a link in the video description. I am really surprised though that I got the firmware basically on the first try, aside from the calibration. Like, I am actually surprised because you guys, I mean, anybody who streams knows how, like, when you're doing stuff live, things just don't work, you know. They just don't work. So I'm appreciative that the gods have been kind to me today. So I'm just updating the that product page for the Easy Level stickers because I realized there's a broken image on there. We came out with these like when I was still in Illinois, so this is probably about 6 years ago almost. And I have them on a lot of my machines. I have them on my Ender 3 S1. I don't have them on my Ender 3 because that's got a mechanical lock. But any printer that's got dual Z, it's a great little thing to put on there. Maybe I won't discontinue them. Come on, guys, talk about our stickers. Get our stickers. So, all right. It should be starting in a sec. We're at 55. I am going to lower the print temp because I did that on the last one, I think. Did I? Because this is sliced for coax filament, which means I have a hotter temp. So I'm going to put it to 220 because I know I modified it when I ran the test print. So the temperature that the nozzle is going to be at. So we're almost there. We're at 58. And the other thing too is when you guys do update to our firmware, make sure to read our guide on the ABL system, because it will explain what G-code to use for your starting G-code. We just recommend if you're using our firmware, use our stuff because we know it works. It's been tried and tested type of thing. So Tor's been with the company since we basically like a couple months after I started. So TH Reed officially launched in August, and I think he came in like November or December. He's been our longest employee we've had ever. He's one of the OGs. So, and even before I had a person who I'm no longer with working for me. He worked with me before even she did. So he is literally the longest in our first hire. So I should have ran an M48 test because I'm running their stock sensor pretty fast here. But I am going to need to set my Z offset. So to set the Z offset on our firmware, you just press the button twice. and then you get the live Z adjust. So you see the Z offsets at /baby stepping. So I'm gonna adjust it on the skirt of the part. That's how I always do it. Now, I'm doing this because I've done it a million times. If you're new, I would recommend doing it the way we recommend in our guide. But once you get used to using our firmware and like the ABL systems, it's really quick. So, all right. I definitely need some squish here. All right. We're pretty good right there. It is going to print over. Wait. Do you notice that that's printing there? I wonder if this is sliced for the SV06 and not the plus. Hang on. I might be printing the wrong file. Hang on. I'm grabbing another SD card. I have so many SD cards around here. All right, that's not it. Hang on. I want to find the same one. I mean, it is a Cali Dragon, but I think that's from the SV06. Not the plus, because it's not centered. Oh, I found it. Yep, I grabbed the wrong file. I'm sorry. We won't have to wait for it to heat back up. So, I mean, the plus and the regular use basically the same code, but I want to be truthful with you guys, and we're using the same one. All right, so this was... I probably should look at the file name. Hang on. If I look at the file name, because I sliced the Prusa slicer, PLA... Oh, it's an Ender 3 profile. All right, let's put the correct one in. Refresh. Cali Dragon, PLA, SV06 plus. All right, let me clear the bed off. Well, hey, we got our Z offset set now, so. All right, the bed should heat up in a sec here. I got to get the little prime line off here, but the hot end is covering it. I'll grab it once it does the probing. All right, well, hey, at least I got my offset set. And actually, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go to configuration and store settings. So it will store my input shaping settings and it'll store my Z offset. God, Senso's homing is so loud. All right, there we go. Let's try that again. And the Z offset should be pretty close because we just set it. But like I tell everybody, it's actually our company policy. When you start a print and you get to the point where it's waiting here, bring this up so you can see if you need to adjust it. So basically, on printers where you had the knobs, so this printer comes solid mounted, you would have to like move the knobs while it's printing to adjust the bed. This, all you have to do is press this twice and then this moves the nozzle up and down in real time. It's amazing. And actually, this is one of the big things I like of Marlin over Clipper is Marlin, the adjustment is instant. Clipper, it's delayed. So, yeah, this stock sensor is actually faster than the BL Touch. All right, I'm going to get a little more squish. But it's looking decent. I don't know what the sensor accuracy is on this stock sensor. It's clearly good enough to work. We'll run a test. We'll run it after we're done with this test. So I'm going to zoom in. And then I don't know if Krista went out to the shop and got the easy level stickers or not, or if she heard me ask her to get them. I could run out and get them while we're waiting for the print to go. I'm going to lock this into manual focus so you guys can see. Oh yeah, so I was right. I was like, I know I dropped the temp down because it's at 215. Because this PLA likes anywhere from 210 to 220. This is our statuesque bronze, which we actually sold out of. It's a really good like $20 silk bronze filament. It looks awesome. So it's a bronze color. It's not like a it's not a like metal fill one. It's just a bronze color, but it looks awesome. So where did I put the other dragon? I'm gonna clean up here while this is going. Where did I put the other dragon? Come on, chat. You guys watch me like a hawk. Where did I set the other dragon at? The stock board dragon. Where is it? Where is she? I can't find the dragon. I've lost it. I put my tools away. I found the plastic thing holding the stock sensor had a crack in it. Actually, my SV06, not the Plus, had a crack in it. I don't know. Like I said, we will get the EZBoard on here. I don't know, though, if it's going to need a new mount compared to the SV06, because you can see how much further, how much longer the heat block is on this one. All right. I'm going to save the static bag because I'm a pack rat. Where did I put the other dragon? I showed it to you guys. I don't know where I set it down now. Did I get knocked on the floor? I feel like I would have heard it hit the floor. Lucky Penny, yeah, so Lucky Penny is our other silk. That one sold out too. And we are working on getting more marketing materials out there because we have so much cool stuff. And, like, we don't, like, we're a small team, so it's hard to, like, spam stuff. Like, we're not like these other bigger companies that have, like, tons of people, you know, writing copy and doing ads. But we're ramping it up, and I appreciate everybody that supports us. You know, this is my full-time gig here. Not doing the streaming, but running the company. The streaming is just a little thing I like doing. I like hanging out with everybody. I'm trying to find the, I don't know where I put the... No, do not start barking. Hey. Remo, enough. It was just Mom. Hang on. Let me tell him to lay his ass down. Lay down. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit the button. There we go. I went to turn the chair. You gotta use the dad voice. How many of you guys here have German Shepherds? Because, like, I feel like they don't listen to you unless you actually, like, have to use your dad voice. Where the hell did I put my little dragon, though? Where's the dragon from the first one? What the hell? I just had it. Damn it. What did I do with it? Like, seriously, you guys saw me show it on stream. Oh, okay, so where I'm sitting at, I couldn't see it because the printer extrusion was blocking it. So here's a stock board one. Can I put it over here? So we're printing another one of these. There we go. It'll just push it out of the way. So, like I said, the print, this print here should show a little bit nicer surface finish. It's not gonna be like, oh my god, it's better, but yeah, it does produce better results. So this is the stock board here with input shaping on, and it's a good print. Your stock cooling setup will not get this. Look at this is with our 5015 fan upgrade. Look how nice these overhangs are. Like, look at that. So this is a stock board. We got the Mimo power supply in there with our cooling upgrade. And obviously our LCD kit. But you can see kind of here, it's got, like, I don't know. I don't want to call it artifacting, but it's not as smooth. So we'll see. We should see an improvement in this area on the new print. The overhangs will probably look about the same, but we'll compare it side by side. So this is our statuesque bronze silk PLA. It's gorgeous, isn't it? All right. No. No. Shush. Shh. There's no one here. Go. Go lay down. Go lay down. My dog set off Tetzel. Okay, so here's the easy level stickers. Here, I'm just going to show you guys here. All right, so they come like this. They're vinyl stickers. They got our little logo at the bottom here. Hang on, let me put autofocus back on. So they got our little logo here, and so you just apply these to your extrusion, and they're really long. So like, I don't know if you guys can see here, like they're taller than the printer. So these will be good. You don't really need them all the way up, but they do look nice. But these will go all the way to the top of like a CR10S4 or a Chiron. They're very long. And basically you put them on there and you can cut them. You can cut off the excess for your machine. So they're these long, nice vinyls. And I've had the same set on my AM8 for 5 years and they have not come off. So they're really good quality. We have them made here in the US. I'll give them a shout out. They're a company called Priority Graphics. They're out of Indianapolis. And I think they were called Westar Solutions at one point. And they got acquired, but there was a guy named Kevin. He was one of our customers. So, and yeah, he made these up for us. And there was, oh my God, what was the guy's name who made the design? Oh my God, someone help me out. Tor, do you know what I mean? Remember the older guy that he also used, he used to hide Godzillas in his designs. Oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? He's in Indiana too. But he used to work for them and he did the design for us. And then I was working with him and Kevin. Do you know who I'm talking about? I know you know who I'm talking about. You're probably having the same reaction as like, oh my God, why can't, yeah. All right. Back to the print. Robbie Mack. That was his name. His like online handle. Robbie Mack. His name was Robbie. Yeah. So his thing. So I think the ones, I can't remember if it's the ones on mine. But the first ones, instead of the TH3D logo at the bottom of the decals, they were little Godzillas eating the logo. And he did like car wraps, like entire wraps for cars. And he would always hide a Godzilla somewhere in the wrap of the car. All right, so we're about 24% in. We're only 10 minutes in. I think I sliced this. I'd have to look at the file. I think this was sliced at 80 millimeters a second, or maybe it was 120. I can't remember. Although, because it's such a small part, the printer's not going to get up to 120, even if it was. Yeah, he would. I don't know if he still watches. I think he kind of got out of 3D printing. I haven't seen him around in a while. But yeah, so yeah, Tor came up with the idea for the rulers, and he was talking to Robbie, and Robbie's like, I can just make some rulers. You want to make some rulers? And he did, and we're still selling them. So all right. Cali Dragon doesn't need an infill. I didn't know that. I will have to try that. Yeah, the stock firmware sucks on these printers. The touchscreen's horrible. The firmware's horrible. I mean, it's not as bad as some, but Scott, I see Scott's in here. Everybody give Scott a shout out. And Scott, I'm gonna plug your little donation link here. So Scott is the guy that is in charge of all the Marlin stuff. So, you know, the firmware that we run and that you guys watching are probably running. So if you want to go ahead and buy him a coffee, there's his donation link. We give him money every single month because our business, you know, uses Marlin, and I think it's fair to pay the people that we're using code from. And Scott's an awesome dude. So I'm sure he could use it to buy some kombucha or something. What's your drink of choice these days, Scott? I remember you on a kombucha kick for a while. You know what? I'm gonna do a little giveaway here while we're waiting for this to go. How's that? We're gonna do a little $10 giveaway. How's that? Giveaway. All right. We're going to do it for 3 minutes. You guys got time. And we're going to type, You make your own? That's awesome. Yeah, that stuff is expensive. I do like it. There's certain ones I've tried that are like too vinegary, but there are some good ones. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Emerson. Emerson's gifted 2 memberships. I appreciate it. Now you can use our special emojis. I can use my special emojis. Like, I can have the best dog emoji, which is Remo, and then we have the little dum-dum, which is Comet. And then you can also be like, bam, TH. Oh, hang on. I'm doing it too fast. I'm pissing YouTube off. Can be like TH3D. Bam, look at that. Yeah, Krista, you can't use our special emojis because you're not a channel member. I wish you could gift memberships as the channel to other people. But yeah, we also have a little bed cat box spray bottle, and also for every time we mention the name Prusa, you can post a sock puppet emoji in the chat. My account is a brand account, so it can't be gifted memberships. Oh yeah, because you have your little TH3D emoji there. Oh, thank you, Apulo. Oh, Scott, caffeine. I love caffeine. I don't really like soy lattes. What the fuck, Apulo? You get a membership, and 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 you get a membership. How does that work? You know what? Can I gift myself? Can I... Hang on. I'm going to mess with this since we're waiting for the giveaway and we're waiting for the print to finish. Hang on. I'm going to jump in on my phone here. Can I... Hang on. Can I gift a membership here? Oh, I think I have to make... I have to be a member... I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Do you have to be a member? Oh, it's people who are active in chat get first dibs on memberships. Do you have to be a member to gift memberships? Okay, let's see. Let me see. So if I become a member of my own channel. Yeah, that was a little too edgy there, Emerson. We gotta keep it somewhat PG rated, okay? Let's see. I'm a member of my own channel now. I can sock puppet my own chat. Okay, membership giving. All right, let's see here. And, okay, I'm going to use some of my Google Play balance. Hell yeah. I didn't know you could do that. All right. Here's 5 more. Bam. Just watch Krista and I get it. There we go. Bam. I'm gonna gift myself. I mean, I'll get like 70% of that money back, but Google's gonna take 30% of it. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. I can buy memberships as the channel. Didn't know I could do that. Hang on. Yeah, I could just have gifted it right from... I could have gifted it right from the company account. Oops. And then I could have wrote it off. All right, let's see. Sorry, I didn't realize I saw my mic go red. Let's see. Let's see who won. Dragtail said he found the stock Ender 5 firmware for the SCAR E3 Mini is really terrible, specifically how the fans worked on it. Yeah, we have, our firmware is a lot better tuned for that board. We have firmware for the Ender 5 with the E3 Mini V3. It's $5 and you get 3 months updates. Also, if you want tech support, it's $30 to add on, whether it's a year or 3 months. A year is like $18. So, oh, you already have it. Oh, you already know. I'm preaching to the choir here. All right, let's see who won the $10 gift card. And, oh wait, hang on. Screw it. I accidentally clicked allow again. So, screw it. You guys got a couple more minutes. If you haven't entered, type ! Marlin. Everyone buy a ruler. You're biased. Apulo's saying to buy a ruler because Apulo bought the ruler. You damn sock puppet account. You're such a sock puppet, Apulo. Shilling your rulers. Also, you know, I could have just used the ruler to measure the gantry too. Which is what I used to use the last... I had a PCB ruler I got from somewhere. And I would actually use that to measure the printer gantry all the time. Hi, Comet. Do you guys want a doggo break? Do you guys want to see the big needy one? Well, he's gonna see it anyways. All right, come here. You want cuddles? Do you want cuddles? Are we needy? I haven't given you enough attention, you poor thing. Should I fix my logo? My logo just shut off. That ESP was angry and just like rebooted itself. Hi, look how content he is just getting pets. Yeah. If I try the same with Remo, it doesn't usually work out in my favor. So if you guys ever do, if someone comes over, like the trick with Comet is you just keep petting him and he just lets you keep doing it. But if you just stop, then he'll get fidgety. You see? It's like, come on, can you keep petting me, please? Sir, can you keep petting me? He's just a big baby. He's also like 75 pounds, so. Come here. Come. Remo, on the other hand, let's see. He seems like he might be a little needy right now, so let's see if I can do the same thing with him. He's a little more twitchy. He's also a little bit bigger. Oh, are we being a good boy? I know you like slobbering my face, but I don't like when you get my glasses. Can you not? Stop nibbling my ear. That's weird. Stop it. Dog. Okay. We're being good. Are we chill? I think we're tired. We just woke up from a nap. What? Oh, now we're being whiny? I know. I know. This is my baby. Comet is Krista's baby. This is my baby. I love you. Yeah. Good boy. Oh, there we go. There's the fidgeting. Remo only likes cuddles for so long. So fun fact, the 422 kit will work on the 427 as well. But we just did revise stuff. I should make probably a separate listing because the firmware that it comes with, because we bundle the firmware, changes. So I'm gonna go back to the print. I'm gonna reboot the ESP for that light behind me to see if it comes back up. I just updated the firmware on it, so I think that's why it's messing up. But all right, back to the camera, and I'm gonna go reboot that ESP. No, you guys are just for your teeth. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and see if it'll come back on here. TH3D logo light. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to try updating the firmware on it again. I just did an update. Maybe there's a bug because it was stable on the last version. I don't know why I mess with updating the ESPs. I never update my Tasmota devices. They're all local. So, you know. That is a Nerf magazine. I have all the stuff printed. All right, so the logo light did update successfully. That's why it's off again. Let's see there. Did it come back on? Maybe I just had a bad update. We'll see. We'll see if it shuts off again. I really want to take a look at this. And then it looks like tonight I'll be pushing the firmware. Hang on one second. The dog is... Do you hear the squeaky toy? Hang on. I got him all riled up by petting him. Can I have that? Thank you. Thank you. We're going to take the squeaky toy away for the stream. Can you find a quiet toy, please, sir? I would really appreciate it if you found a quiet toy. Yeah, so I have the parts printed, and after I'm done with the SV06 stuff, I'm going to be doing the build. I might do a Hangout stream while I'm doing it. I'm going to be fumbling through it because I've never built a Nerf gun. But yeah. All right, let's pick a winner for the giveaway. All right. Let's see who won the $10. Oh, this is rigged. I think I should redraw. What do you guys think? I think it's rigged. I think we should redraw that. I'm gonna see if he realizes it. His own wife is telling him to redraw. I'll still send you one, Emerson, but we're gonna pick another one. Oh, nope, that's rigged. There we go. Okay, Fred's trains. Emerson, I will send you one. Hang on, the dog is barking. Hang on. I'm gonna go put them outside. I'll be right back. My buddy just... Totally rigged. Fred's trains. Are you here? You need a claim. Oh yeah, you won. Yeah, you won. All right, it's almost done with the print. We're at 26 minutes. I think I probably slice this at 80 millimeters a second and not 120. I'd actually have to look at the file name because I do use Prusa Slicer and it puts the profile in there. And then we'll see. I want to see how much of a difference this makes on this printer versus the other one. Because the last one, actually, I think I have... Do I still have the benchies on here? I think this is from my input shaping video. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I printed. I guess I can go back in the video. But there was a clear difference between the SV06 and our board versus print quality. So... You can't use... This is a gift card for our store. So, did you put them outside? Hi, Bruce. You're on live. You look like you just you look like you're dressed to do some landscaping there with the high vis.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Oh, it's a marina. Oh, a Ducky Landing. How long have you had that shirt for? Yeah. Oh, you know what I totally forgot? The Easy Neo blocks are on the printer. I'm going to see if they fit the Plus.
So, what are we featuring today?
We're put our board in this printer. So, all right, let's see. Do you guys think the blocks I made will fit the Plus? And if they do you think the spacing will be the same? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, buddy. They fit. They fit. Up, up. Where's the top of up. It fits in here. The question is the spacing going to be the same on this one versus the other one? So I can't remember if I think I had it like this.
High torque.
Let's see. I'm going to see if the spacing is the same. Oh, that'll be this is going to be an easy stream here, man. Because the Easy Neos are one cable to our EZBoard. All right, let's see. Do the holes line up? I think I got to move them in one. So I did have the other one on the right side. And of course I pushed them all the way in, so I got to pop them out. Come on. There we go. Move them over one. I also don't want to like press on the frame because it could screw up the print quality, and then it's not a fair representation. But I want to see if these fit. Oh, there's is it slightly off? It's like slightly off. I'm wondering if I flip that around, will that make it better? If I flip it around and put the screw head over here, I'll have to play with it. I might have. So I think the spacing between these on the Plus is different, so these blocks fit. I just might have to make a revision. I'll figure it out. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Oh, sure. I shouldn't have said anything about it being too easy. Like, I'm just looking here. If I have that there, you know what? I might be able to get away with it on this one and this one, because it's not like it weighs a bunch. It just needs a wedge up in there. Let me see here.
Were you not paying attention, Tinkerer?
What did he say?
Is that back was MF or background? Oh, sorry, neon MF.
Okay. I'm going to see if these line up. We might be able to get away with it in these two positions here. I'll play with it once it's done with the print. If I got to make a revision for the Plus, I will make a revision for the Plus. Because I want lights on my printer. All right. And get back in there, focus that. So let's see. I don't want to put them like, I don't want to get it. So the front is looking about the same, maybe a little smoother, but I want to see how the sides look. Let me take this off here. I probably shouldn't have put this on here now that I was thinking about it. We'll see. We're almost done. I like wanted to finish. How many of you guys get like antsy towards the end of the print? Anytime something's too easy, there's always a catch. Yeah, I was like, man, it looks like they fit up in there. I was like, okay, it looks like it's gonna go. And nope, I had to jinx myself. I'm surprised that they used a different mold for that. Yeah, I should have skipped the infill, but you know what? Then it wouldn't have been the same print, and it wouldn't have been a fair comparison. Did you mark the bottom of the Cali drawing so I wouldn't mess them up? Here, I'll do that right now. I know this one is the stock one. I'm just gonna put X on the stock one, okay? There we go. There's X on the bottom of the stock one. Come on, focus. It's, you know what? I think the camera lost the setting for center weighting because it's like trying to keep me and Bruce in focus. So there you go. There's an X on the stock one. So we're gonna see how the print quality is. Now, I will show you guys, I'm actually pretty proud of how these came out. So I got my Mercury 1 parts printed. I did on my Ender 6. I did them at 120 millimeters a second. So this is on our Ender 6, running our EZBoard V2 with input shaping. And I think these came out really nice. So this is with Polymaker ABS. You see here, the tolerances are really nice. Fit together nicely. How do you like that? That came out pretty good. Now, I am going to hit the top of this with a heat gun. You can see the pressure. So if you guys have parts where you get the white surface from it being printed on the bed, if you hit this with a heat gun really quick, it'll fade away. So, yeah. So that's my Ender 6 with our EZBoard V2 running input shaping. Damn good print. All right. Yeah, I mean, it feels really solid, so. I normally use a lighter. I mean, yeah, you could. I just have like a 300 watt heat gun I use. Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, there's these people chasing speed. Like, here's the thing. I used to print at like 60 millimeters a second on average. I've basically moved all of mine up to like 80. You know, and I've been playing around 120 on my Ender 6, but basically all my printers I'm running at 80 now. And it's a good balance of quality and speed, because no matter how much compensation you have, you're going to lose quality. And the other thing is, the faster you run the printer, the poorer the layer adhesion can be. I'm sure there's situations where it doesn't matter, but in my experience, especially with like ABS, the faster you run it, the poorer the layer adhesion is, you know, because it has less time to actually bond. So there are drawbacks to running fast. Like for mechanical parts, you know, especially stuff that we're selling, like we run our stuff at 60 to 80 tops. You know, so we get stuff that looks really nice. We get stuff that's not going to crack on you, that kind of thing. So if you're buying stuff that's printed parts from us, we are not running them higher than 80. And most of them are running at like 60, to be completely honest at this point. Now, as we're upgrading the print farm, and switching over to all 32-bit boards and running input shaping, we'll probably be bumping that up to 80. But right now, most of our prints are done at 60. All right. We are almost done. We're at 98%. Which is perfect timing, because I got to go over some stuff in the shop with Bruce and Sean. So we're going to take a look at these. We're going to give the doggos their TREATS, which they're outside right now. And then we're going to wrap it up. One little wispy from the head moving away. All right. Let's take a look. I want to see if we can see on this printer, because we saw it on the SV06. I want to see how the print quality differs. So I have our bed cement on here, which I probably don't need, but yeah. All right, let's take a look at these parts here. So I'm gonna get nice and close here so we can be really up close here. Now on this other one, I did get rid of the wispies, so let me just kind of run my finger and get rid of the wispies so it's fair. Again here. So the one on the right here is our EZBoard. The one on the left here is the stock board. So let's see here. I got to get it into the focal range here. Let me turn off my camera here so we have the full screen here. And they're really close. I don't know if I could tell the difference apart on this printer. I wonder if it's just because it's so damn big. The sides do look a little cleaner. Not dramatically cleaner, but a little bit cleaner. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm seeing here. So a tiny bit. Is it like dramatic? No, but it is a little bit smoother here. And again, I'm just reusing the input shaping settings from the stock board. And if I tune it, I wonder if I get a better result, because I'm assuming the tuning settings would change slightly from the stock one. So you can see a little more artifact in here. And I use the silk PLAs to do quality tests because they really show everything. So this is our board. So it's just a little bit smoother of a surface versus the Giga device. And the funny thing is, both these boards are running the same stepper drivers. Both are running TMC 2209s and UART. The difference is our EZBoard is using an STM32, whereas theirs is using a Giga device knockoff. So there you go. You can look at the prints yourself. There they are. So this is our EZBoard, and this is the stock board. So a little bit better print quality. Is it dramatic? No. The stock board prints decently, but I can now put EZNeos on my printer, so I will be making the adapter blocks for the EZNeos. And we're going to switch back here. So I'm going to be making the adapter blocks for the EZNeos. Bruce, you are blowing my white balance out. Look at you blew my white balance out. I gotta have it. So I thought I had this set as center weighted. I don't know if it lost a setting. So, oh, there it goes. Now it's, see, like, it's wanting to focus. It must have changed. I gotta look at my camera because it was doing it even when you weren't here. So I'll do that offline. But anyways, yeah, so that's the same exact G code. The only difference is we changed the board out. And same thing as we saw with the SV06 is that we got a little bit better print quality out of there. And like I said, also, if you guys don't want to be dealing with complicated firmware setup, the SV06 will be supported on the EZBoard later tonight. I'll be pushing those firmware updates out. So if you guys want to get one, they're $105. That includes a 6-month warranty, access to the firmware for the life of the product. So basically what I mean by that is at some point I'm going to determine that, hey, this board is like 5-6 years old. We're not doing updates for it anymore. To give you guys our track record, we are still doing updates for our version 1 board that came out 5 years ago. So, God damn it. Oh, you know what? I wonder if this camera is messing up. Hang on. We're almost done anyways. It can screw up. There it goes. Wow, the white balance correctly, damn it. Okay, anyways, where was I? Oh, yeah. So if you guys want to pick up our board, I'm going to post it in the chat here. And you can just go to ezboard.th3dstudio.com and pick one up. We have them in stock. I got like 80 of them right now. You'll get for $105. You'll get tech support. You get 6 months updates or 6 months warranty, lifetime updates on the firmware. You'll get access to our Easy Firmware site, which is only for our control boards. That's the site where I showed you guys where you can just compile your firmware right on a website and it spits it out. It literally compiles in less than 30 seconds. You can go ahead and try it out yourself. You don't have to have our board. You can go ahead and try it out. You can do some test compiles and see how well it works. And basically, you don't have to mess with VS Code. You just put your firmware in, you download the bin file, put it in your SD card. You don't have to mess with VS Code at all. But if you do want to mess with VS Code, if that's your thing, we do also provide the full source code for our firmware so you can compile it on your computer. So, but yeah. So anyways, the board, you get a mini USB cable with it, a 4 gig SD card, and all that other stuff. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this up because I got work to do. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Make sure you guys get some deals on our filament. Our filament fiesta ends on the 23rd, so we got 3 more days. It's 20% off of all of our filaments that we carry, like our brand, the Spaghetti line and the Easy Choice. And also, if you guys want some Polymaker, we just stocked Polymaker, and we're an official Polymaker reseller. So, anyways, thank you for watching, and as always, happy printing. I will see you guys on the next one.